myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, build the win, apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I built the win, apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
Welcome. We are here on Unfazed. My name is JJ, got my boy AJ here. We got a lot to talk about on two different sports. First off, we got the NBA Finals here. Finally, my boy AJ predicted the Spurs will win the whole thing, and they here. You know, knocked out my OKC Thunder. We're going to talk about that, and the Knicks are here too. And that was his East prediction. Shout out to AJ hitting right on the money. And then we got some big news in the NFL. You know, AJ, I know we got, you know, Myles Garrett going to the Rams. I know you saw that. You was like, dang it, right? But then to make you a little happy, I'm assuming your AJ Brown trade finally happened. But I'm doing good. You know, we got AJ Brown out there in NFC East. But how you doing, AJ?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited for today's show, man. It's a lot to get to, as you just stated. You know, the Spurs in the finals as predicted, the Knicks in the finals as predicted. You know, AJ up out there as predicted. Didn't see the Myles Garrett news. Didn't see that happening. You know, that was kind of crazy. But the Rams all in this season, so we're gonna get to it all. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I feel good, man.
That's good. And y'all probably wondering why I got this Kings jersey on, because we got De'Aaron Fox and Mike Brown both in the NBA Finals. But before we get to the finals, AJ, we got to talk about Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. Now, midway through the series, but we both made our picks, you know, off air. I had OKC winning the championship this year, and you had the San Antonio Spurs coming out on the limb before the playoffs started that they would win the championship. Now, we both said in 6, but ended up going 7. And the Spurs go into OKC, this young team, and beat the defending champions in their house, which is a huge deal. So, AJ, what is your reaction of the Spurs beating OKC and making it to the NBA Finals in Wemby's 3rd season? Talk about it.
Yeah, like I said, man, I can't say I didn't expect it. I did get nervous when they lost Game 5. I did. I was like, oh, they lost. They lost Game 5. SGA went crazy. Chet looked like he finally woke up for the series. He went crazy. McCain did his thing. So I'm like, yeah, okay, see, this going to be tough. Maybe the Spurs can get it to 7, because I didn't anticipate them losing in 6. But I felt a little leery about Game 7. All in all, though, it kind of comes down to what I have been saying from the very beginning. I think that OKC and the Spurs are the two most talented teams in the Western Conference. I think this series ultimately came down to health. I've been telling you, Joe, I've been telling others, this OKC team is not the same without J-Dub in the lineup and healthy. Because he could be out there, but if he ain't healthy, he's not as effective. And we saw that in, I think, 2 or 3 of the games he played. I thought he played well in Game 1, but I thought Wemby just was out of this world. So I kind of just chalked that one up. It happens. It is what it is. The second game he played, I believe that was Game 6. He was out there, I think, for like 10 minutes. Didn't look like himself. Didn't really do much out there. So I give him credit for going out there and giving it effort. But I think OKC knew, in order to close the deal on the San Antonio Spurs, you're going to need that number 2 guy. it was either going to have to be J-Dub or it was going to have to be a guy like Chet. J-Dub didn't play, obviously, in Game 7. And Chet, what he had? 4 points, shot 2 shots the entire basketball game. A complete no-show after he got dunked on. It's like Wemby took his heart. He got dunked on, and he was ineffective the rest of the game. Wasn't even looking to shoot the basketball. At the end of the day, as great as SGA is, and he is great, and he went out there, I got nothing negative to say about him. He balled out. He played like it was Game 7. I thought he had his best overall game of the entire series. He did his thing. But at the end of the day, every star needs help. Every star, needs assistance out there. Like I said, Chet, he gave you 4 points. Lou Dort, he gave you 3 points, 1 of 4 from the field. Cason Wallace gave you 17, so that was a nice game from him. A lot of his buckets, from what I remember, came towards the end of the game, but he played well. Alex Caruso, who had a monster game throughout, I think it was Game 1. You think he had like 30 in Game 1. He shot 3 of 14 from the field, 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. McCain, who was having a pretty good series, 5 of 12, 2 of 7 from the 3-point line. Like, you needed the others in this game at home, and you would think at home an experienced bunch would play better than what they did. But it seemed like SGA, for the most part, was the only one who came to the party. And against a team like the Spurs that can overwhelm you with defense and at times offense when they have it going, it's far too much, because you got to deal with Wemby, but you also got to deal with Castle, and you also got to deal with De'Aaron Fox, who finally had a game. Finally, he showed up. He looked like, he's going to be interesting to watch going into this next series against the Knicks if he can get that ankle, and her 100% right. Vassell didn't have a great game, but you still got to deal with him on the outside. Can't forget about Dylan Harper, right, who is a massive X factor for the Spurs. And so they have so many different guys. And also, I brought this up last episode, and he finally showed up too. Shane Penny. Started to hit shots. Started in Game 5, but they lost. He was okay in Game 6, but he was efficient. And then he turned it back up for Game 7. He finally showed up. And I knew once he showed up, if OKC didn't have all its horses, they were going to be in trouble. And so, lo and behold, I thought it would happen sooner. So shout out to OKC. Shout out to SGA. Shout out to them as a team, as an organization, for being able to withstand not having J-Dub out there for as long as they did. Because to get this far without him was special. But at the end of the day, I feel like this series, in my personal opinion, proved how valuable he is to this basketball team. Because not only do you need him offensively, but you need him on the defensive side of the ball too. We forget how elite he is on the opposite side of the ball when he's right. And so I think OKC wins this series if they are healthy. But I think with the injuries that they had, and I'm forgetting what's the other guy who got hurt that was coming in place of
AJ Mitchell.
AJ Mitchell also hurt. He was a big time piece for them against the Lakers. He also, got hurt early in the series and wasn't able to play. And so no AJ Mitchell, no J-Dub. It was too much for OKC to overcome. So yeah. I can't say I don't want to say I told people so, but Joe, I told you so. I told you so, man.
So, the SGA played well in the Game 7, yes, but I'm going to put some blame on him why they lost the series, because we all knew J-Dub was hurt. We all knew that AJ Mitchell was hurt, and SGA is a 2-time MVP. He's a back-to-back MVP. He's in the argument of best player in the world. So he has to show up consistently as the best player on the team. And we can't get mad when the role player don't show up in Game 7 when Caruso gave you 30 Game 1. You know what I mean? Like, your role players will give you a game. And what SGA messed up on is the games he currently has a 20-point streak that he broke. That's the most 20-point streak ever in the NBA history. Broke Wilt Chamberlain's record. He had 2 games in series under 20 points, AJ.
Mm-hmm.
In a pivotal Game 4, when you couldn't go up 3-1, you come out and have 19 points. In a pivotal Game 6 to close them out, you have 15 points, and you had 10 in the first half. What are we doing? Mm-hmm. And then another thing, these Spurs, every game this series, they came out hot. They came out like hungry. They came out like up by 10 early, almost, I think probably every game. You know, this game they up like by 11 early. I'm like, dang, again, here we go again. Like OKC starting off slow, and it be Wemby. Like Wemby be pressing early. You know,
Right.
so and the team follows. Chat Holmgren. I mean, I know we heard it a million times, AJ. He is scared of Wemby, bro. Every time he got the ball and Wemby was in his face, he did not attack. This man, we all saw game 5. You said it yourself, like game 5, you was a little nervous, right? In game 5, what they do differently for the first time in this whole series, they give it a Chat, and Chat was aggressive, and
Right.
and he was like what Wemby's been like. He was aggressive, and they got the rest of the team rolling. And then in game 7, same thing. First play again, they go to a Chat. I'm like, okay, I remember this game 5. And then the second play, somebody else shot on the third possession. He gets the ball again. I'm like, took 2 shots early.
Yep.
And then take a shot since. Are we serious? Are we serious? The whole game 7, when you don't have your other top 2 scorers, you are a number 2 overall pick. You just signed a contract. You are a pivotal piece of winning last year. And this what you bring to the table? Like, Wemby let it be known. I don't mess with Chat. He let it be known. When they asked Chat about it, he's like, you know, I don't think we ever have a conversation. It's just about us winning as a team. I'm like, he's defeated. He's defeated, man.
Yep.
Like he don't want that. Then you got Vassell yelling at you like, bro, what are y'all? Where's your heart? So, and then don't get me started about Caruso. I mean, the secret stuff from Space Jam ran out because I don't know what he was doing. This man was missing bunnies and all that stuff. I'm like, this dude is selling this game. He clanked the free throw real bad. It was he got to the free throw line. They had a camera angle on the top of the rim, so you could see the angle real good. And he bricked bad. I'm like, dog, this man selling this game. Like, come on, man. You know, so like, and Carl said this. I'm gonna say it's great. He said. If I would have woke up and if I was SGA and I woke up and somebody was to tell me that your second best player in game 7 was going to be Kassan Wallace, I would be so mad. Like Kassan Wallace, he played well. I feel like every 3 he hit was an answer from the Spurs 3. So it just neutralized the situation. It was never like a momentum builder. It was more so like they hit a 3, okay, we got to get a 3, and then he would hit a 3 to match it. You know, his threes didn't really feel impactful like you wanted to, like I said, because it was a following up of the other 3 from the other side of the basket. So shout out to San Antonio, man. Like Wemby, I mean, I said this on the Article show, you probably didn't hear it, AJ, but I was scared for SGA going into game 7. After they lost game 6, I was like, dog, you have to win this year. Because if you don't win this year, it might be over for you, bro. I'm sorry. As good as SGA is, Wemby's about to take over, bro. He just is. He about to take over. Like the man is off of still raw talent, and he is in the NBA Finals in the West. It's not the East. This is the West. You know what I mean? Don't forget the Timberwolves gave everybody some go. They ran to the Timberwolves, and then they get to OKC, and they really blew them out. They blew them out twice, and I get OKC was hurt, but dog, like they are arriving. So OKC gonna make some moves this summer because it's winter is coming. Wemby is coming.
Yeah, I think I was just gonna say I'm not gonna just give it to him just yet because I do see OKC making moves, and I see other teams in the West making moves as well to kind of gear up for him. I'm interested in seeing at some point later down the line how they figure out contracts with all of those wings. But I just look at this series, Joe, and I just think to myself, like, they look like OKC 2.0 defensively. If you just take Wemby out, you got a bunch of wings that can just defend. Right. They scrappy, they jump passing lanes, they score in transition, they athletic, they could take over games from everywhere, they could shoot from everywhere. Like, they just look like they are literally the perfect matchup for OKC, which is why I kept on saying OKC got to be 100% right. It just got to be 100% right, because this is a challenge that you can't tackle if you're not 100% right. You can't solely rely on SGA, which is why I'm not as hard on SGA as you are in this series. And the reason why is because the Spurs defense was so ferocious all series long. And when he did have those massive games, it was like I think it was game 5. Game 5, he shot 17 free throws. Point game, but most of it came from the free throw line. He still was kind of, from what I remember, struggling from the field. He had to, find a way to get to the line to get points up to affect the game in a different way. Because the Spurs defense, I've been saying it all series on, the Spurs defense was honestly giving him fits, whether they were trapping, whether they were doubling, whether they were playing honest, whether they were sending help, whatever they were doing, they was giving him a very hard time, which is why, again, I keep coming back to this. You can't put all of that on SGA. SGA last year, right? Last year, we know the Timberwolves defense is like that, right? You needed that 30-point game in game 4 from J-Dub in order to get them over the hump. SGA did his thing as well, but J-Dub followed. In the finals, you needed that 40-point explosion from J-Dub. You needed that game because the Spurs or the Pacers was ripping and running down the floor. I remember one of those games, SGA looked exhausted. Like, yo, somebody else had to follow me right now. And it was J-Dub who came in and gave you 40 in one. I want to say it was like game 5 or around in there somewhere. He gave you 40. So it's like you need those. A star can take you so far, but at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant, game 7 against the Celtics, 2010. Kobe shot terribly from the field. He affected the game in other ways defensively, right? The Celtics didn't have Kendrick Perkins, so he ran down there and was boxing guys out, grabbing a bunch of rebounds, affecting the game in that way. But you needed Ryan Artest. You needed Pau Gasol. You needed somebody else. Like, all right, bro, they going to play me this way. I'm struggling. I need my other go-to guy to give me a moment. And I feel like he didn't have that when he needed it most in this series. He got it in game 1 from Caruso, but again, Wemby was. I just chalk game 1 up to just Wemby just being Wemby. That's probably the best game you could argue of his career. You could argue that's the best game he's had his entire career. Game 1 was sensational. And right when you thought you had the game under wraps, he come down, he pulled from dang near half court to tie the game and send it to another OT. I mean, come on. What can you do with that? You know what I mean? So I look at how this went down. I think about the history of the sport. I think about, Shaq fouled out. You need Kobe to come in and do his thing. I think about, like I said, game 7, against the Celtics. I think about LeBron being the leader of the Heat, but you still need D-Wade to show up and give you pivotal games throughout a series to help you get through. Like, I think about that, and I say to myself, SGA in this series didn't have enough in order to get past this team. Like I said, even last year, in just about every series besides probably the Memphis series, I want to say, last year, J-Dub had those games where he won you the game. He just flat out won you the game. Got SGA a game when he needed it, and then SGA was able to take you over the hump when he needed to take you over the hump. But the fact that defenses had to worry about, we got to worry about SGA, but we can't let him kill us either.
Let me ask
Spurs came out there like, man, we ain't worried about nobody but SGA. And we saw it. We not worried about nobody but SGA. On top of the fact that you came into this series confident because you've been killing them in the regular season. You've been killing them in the regular season. So
let me ask you this though, AJ.
Yeah.
You think Luka Doncic is gonna have a 19 and 15-point game in the series? A healthy Luka? Let's be real.
Probably not.
This is what I'm saying. All right. Am I blaming him for the loss? No, he gets some blame. That's all I'm saying. So like people see game 7, man, SGA balled out. Yeah, but what about game 4 and game 6? 2 pivotal games. Game 4 puts you up 3-1. And game 6, it puts you in, like, you win the series. But he waited to game 7 to have his best game, and it wasn't enough because the others finally didn't show up. Are we surprised of some bunch of role players didn't show up in game 7? No, it's a pressure moment. So if SGA handled business early, I'm telling you, Luka, and this is why we had that. It's why we had that question early in the series, and before the playoffs started, and I picked Luka over SGA. And then I was ready to apologize to SGA. And then he had these games. And then I even said before game 7 happened on our Twitter show, I said, he can't, people kept saying he played well, I'm not gonna kill him. I'm like, no, he has to win because he played well and lose, you can always look back in game 4 and game like, bro, it's a series.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
a series.
true.
It's like I get it. Wemby had moments when he didn't play well, but you
Right.
still felt him defensively though. At
Mhm.
least you don't
Mhm.
really feel SJ defensively all the time, and so he got to bring it offensively, especially the low he was carrying. He could not afford to have a 19-point game. Now, if he dropped 30, you know what I mean, and just lost, then you got to tip your cap to the Spurs. You know what I
True.
mean? So
True.
if he's one of them ones, 2-time MVP, he got this whole narrative on him. I think like this is an opportunity to kill that narrative, and he didn't take advantage of it. So if you put Luka in those situations, Luka is not walking away with 19 points. He's not walking away with 15 points. I'm sorry.
That's true. He might against that defense, he might give you 30, but it's gonna be inefficient. It's gonna be inefficient. And we saw in the finals against the Celtics, like he was getting his, but it was a struggle out there.
Yeah, because that team was just amazing, and Kyrie gave you nothing.
Yeah, facts.
Kyrie gave you nothing, and then Luka got killed defensively. That was a problem. You not being efficient, like it's cool. Like it's a playoffs. Like the defense is tougher. Like I get it. Kobe wasn't efficient all the time when he was cooking. So it's about getting the job done. Kawhi Leonard, when he dropped 37 against the 4 bounce,
against the Sixers.
He took over 30 shots that game. He didn't shoot well, but he was like, we gonna lose. We lose no matter what.
Fair. That's fair.
I'm not blaming him for the loss. I am giving him some blame though. He don't just skate off like, hey, man, he cooked. Yeah, he did in game 7. But what about the other games?
Hey, listen. I respect and appreciate the accountability though. You know what I mean? At least I can say you fair across the board with it. You know what I mean? Because I know that's your guy.
I love for you.
Yeah, hey, you got to. You know what I mean? You gotta hold guys' feet to the fire, man. You gotta call it like you see it. And I appreciate you calling it like you see it, because I know that's your boy. So, man, I respect it. I definitely respect it.
Wemby's here.
Yeah, man.
Wemby's here.
Speaking of Wemby and him being here, he's in the NBA Finals, Joe. He is in the NBA Finals, and he is going up against the red hot and rested New York Knicks. That again, your boy AJ predicted will be here. Just saying, just saying that your boy predicted this exact finals before the playoffs started. I will say, I was nervous about the Knicks going into the playoffs. I was like, I'm gonna pick the Knicks series by series and see what happens, because they was a little shaky during the regular season, but I stuck by them. And of course, the Spurs, I was very confident in them. Obviously, OKC had me a little nervous, but both these teams are in the finals. This finals, I believe, is going to be one of the more exciting finals that we've seen in recent years. Finals back at the Garden. The Spurs back in the finals. We haven't seen that in a very long time, since the Duncan days. So I got to ask you, Joe, what is your prediction for this year's NBA Finals? That starts tomorrow.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a good one. I'm going with the Spurs in 6. Now, New York Knicks will. I'm Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Shout out to my boy Chris.
Shout out Chris.
Shout out to Chris. Chris, I would love your leave a comment.
Say that again.
But say that again. I told him to leave a comment about the AJ Brown trade.
The odds.
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts, But and then when we do the segment, I'll pull it up. But AJ, this is gonna be, like you said, it's gonna be a good series. Like New York Knicks, I think I said this before. They arguably have the best starting 5. You know what I mean? Like they starting 5 is pretty good. They got a bunch of two-way players, and they got Brunson. They got a good team, bro. And one thing about the New York Knicks, they are playing their best basketball at the right time while being well rested. But we talking about the Spurs, man. The Spurs, I feel like the Spurs, people say, man, they going to be worn down. They just came from a hard-fought game 7, and the Knicks just been chilling. Shout out to the NBA for having game 7 to be Saturday, and they put a first game on Wednesday. Shout out to the NBA for giving them some time to rest. If anything, bro, if you the Spurs, you got so much better playing this OKC team. You just beat a champion. Just like when they beat Denver, we was like, AJ,
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
they like I think that's when you said, yeah, I mean, they just beat a championship team. Like it's hard to beat a championship team unless you got their number. Like Minnesota just got Denver's number. Like it just got their number. They're division rivals and all that stuff. But when you beat a champion in the series, they are so hard to get put away because they just fight and claw. They just don't go away. And to be honest with you, that's been the Spurs against OKC. When the Spurs get up on OKC, it's a blowout. But when OKC gets up, you just see the Spurs come back. I'm like, what the heck? They're not going away.
Yep.
Where the road spray at? Spray these dudes, man. Get them out of here. So I look at the matchups. You got Brunson, Fox. But obviously, Castle's going to be on Brunson, most likely. You're going to put Castle on Brunson. And then you got Mikal Bridges. Now, Mikal Bridges is shooting like 74%, something crazy in the playoffs, in the last series, right? Is he going to keep that up? Because this defense from the Spurs is nasty. So are the Knicks, though. I get the Knicks props. The Knicks playing so well in the East. But it's just hard because we talking about it, what they did at OKC versus what they did to like the Cavs and
the Cavs, right.
But they handled their business. They blew them out and their business. But here's what's going to try to happen, all right? With Cat being in there, now what Mike Brown's going to do, like obviously everybody's going to try to do this. Get Wemby out the paint. Like how are we going to get Wemby out the paint? Because one thing about OKC versus New York Knicks offense, OKC, it's a lot of like isolation, driving, kick. You know what I mean? Like it's not a lot of like sets being around, all that stuff. Like you see Mike Brown and them, they move around a lot in our offense. But so with Wemby, what he does in the defense, he tries to stay in the paint. So like if you're on Josh Hart and I'm on Cat and I'm Wemby, and then Cat rolls up, we gonna switch. So whoever's the nearest man to the paint, that's what Wemby kind of does. He just switch for everybody throughout the whole game, and the communication they have is amazing. It's crazy. They never get lost like that. So I'm curious to see that chess match, see how they're gonna try to get Wemby out the paint. Cat, you know he's foul trouble heavy, and I mean they might put OG on Wemby, to be honest with you, but they're gonna be time with Cat on that, and Cat got to be able to stay out of foul trouble. And Mitchell Robinson, Hacker Robinson, but the key factor to the series is going to be guys like Dylan Harper. Like Dylan Harper comes off the bench and he plays so well late. As the series went on, he got better. He was good game one, and then he kind of like he was okay. But as the series got on, he was just stepping up. So I think it'll be a good matchup. I'm curious to see how well Brunson can play with this too, because we just saw what SGA went through. Let's see what Brunson will go through with this. Are they going to double? Are they going to blitz Brunson? Or they did SGA? Are they going to just play on straight up one-on-one? Because one-on-one matchup, he's tough to guard. So I'm excited to see it. We got Mike Brown against De'Aaron Fox. Us Kings fans will be on the timeline like we always are watching the game.
Yeah, literally, bro. I think you said you hit on Dana all the bullet points I had in my phone, except for one that I'll get to in a second. Joe, I want to pick the Spurs. I want to pick the Knicks, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I want to pick the Knicks just because, like, I like the story. I like the story. Like, this team ain't been in the finals in 26 something odd years. You know, Jalen Brunson going up against Wemby, like, you know, the small guard versus the big 7'5" guy, like, you know, like I feel like this could be the Knicks' time. Definitely was the Knicks' time to come out of the Eastern Conference. But I just think that everything that you said is true. Josh Hart gonna have to continue to make shots from the outside. Karl Anthony Towns gonna have to be an X factor on both sides of the ball, not only scoring, hitting shots from the outside, facilitating, making it easier, you know, on Brunson, but also defensively. I think his defense over the years has improved. I think his defensive tactics that he used against Jokic years ago in Minnesota may help him in this series. I think he might surprise us defensively, so he's going to have to be big in this series. But all in all, I just look at the Spurs guards. I think the Spurs guards are going to make it so tough on Brunson. That's my biggest concern on both sides of the ball. Like, you got all these different guys that can switch off and make things tough on Brunson. You said it. We could trap. We could give you single coverage. We could give you. We could send help from from the baseline, from free throw line, wherever we want to send help from. The help will be there. And Brunson, you got to come off that ball. You got to rely on others to hit shots from the outside. But on top of that, on the other side of the ball, all these dudes can attack Brunson.
Yes, all
of them can attack Brunson. Everyone in that lineup can go at Brunson and make him the target. Wherever you at, you can't hide. It's like the Luka effect when he played against the Celtics. You can't hide. Wherever you are, we can find you. We can single you out the same way you did against James Harden. We can single you out and we can attack you. And I think that could be. They could do that every possession and every play, and I think that can make things tough. So team defense gonna be key for the Knicks. Brunson gonna have to move them feet, and he gonna have to find a way to not be a complete liability defensively, while also still being himself offensively. So I think P is the guy, obviously enough, but he's the guy in the entire series. Not Cat, not Wemby, not Castle, not Vassell, not Anunoby, any of those guys. Brunson is the guy I got my eyes on, because Brunson, in my opinion, has the ability to sway this series one way or another. If Brunson can come out and be Brunson, be the same Brunson we've seen throughout this playoffs, I think the Knicks got a real shot at winning this in 6 or 7 games. But if Brunson is getting attacked every possession, don't have nothing for you offensively because guys is in his chest making it tough, and other guys around him ain't stepping up the way they need to, I think it's gonna get tough. Now, again, the thing that helps the Knicks is they do have experience with this. The Hawks did the same thing. The Hawks, CJ McCollum was getting those switches, and he was attacking them all game for most of the series. But eventually, on the other side of the ball, guys started to make shots. Eventually, they stopped giving that switch up. Eventually, CJ McCollum only got so much of that in him at this stage in his career, too. These guys for the Spurs, they young. They ain't going nowhere. And so, like I said, it's gonna come down to him being dominant, continuing to be Brunson, and it's gonna come down to Karl-Anthony Towns being, I'd argue, almost everything for this offense, similar to what he's already been doing. Like, you gotta get that man out of the paint, and you gotta help Brunson get some easy looks like he has been. So I almost wish for the Knicks that they hadn't release this game plan in the playoffs and they could just use it out of the blue for the Spurs now. Now the Spurs got time to kind of game plan for how they're going to defend that. And I think things are going to be tough. Those guys are going to have to shoot the ball extremely well from the outside. And I think that's the part I'm nervous about. But they confident. I mean, you getting 110, 120, 130. They scoring the ball efficiently and effectively. You ain't played the Spurs defense yet. But against the East, I mean, they the hottest offense, I'd argue, in this playoffs.
Yeah, they are.
And so you got guys that's going to shoot the ball with confidence. You just going to need that consistently throughout this playoffs or throughout this series. If I had to put my money on the team, I would put it on the Spurs, because just like I felt about OKC, even though the Knicks are healthier, I just think that they have overwhelming talent on top of Wemby right now that make it extremely tough to knock them off. So, and they got home court advantage. We can't forget about that fact.
Yeah.
The Spurs got home court advantage too. So
that's big.
The Knicks will have to steal a game, probably 2, because I don't think they're going to go undefeated at home. They probably got to steal a game or 2 in San Antonio, and we all know that's extremely hard to do.
And win in Game 7 in San Antonio, if possible.
Yeah. I'm not counting the Knicks out. I would love to see the different game plans that Mike Brown come out with. There's things you could do. I mean, you could go small. It's a lot of different things you could do to attack Wemby, get him out of the paint, make it easier for everybody. You got a very versatile team. OG can do some of everything. Josh Hart can do some of everything. Cat can do some of everything. Then you got big bodies like Robinson that can come in. He's gonna play. I think he broke his pinky.
Yeah, he's still playing though.
But he gonna play. So you got some versatility on the front line that you could use, and you're gonna have to be physical. You got to bang. I think one thing that made the series with OKC close is they finally gave Hartenstein some tick after game 1, and he was physical with Wemby for the rest of the series. I think that's why at times we've seen Wemby a little gassed, a little tired, because they were physical with him from that point forward after game one.
And offensively, he made them work with that push shot.
Exactly. So now, like I said, the guys that they got in there, Josh Hart, Anunoby, and Cat, they all have the ability to make him work. And then when you don't need those buckets from him in the paint, you bring in what you call him, Hacker Robinson, where you come in and just throw them elbows, throw some, you know what I mean? Like you can be physical. So they got a shot, but the stars gonna have to be the stars. I just feel like they gotta play perfect, bro. And that's my problem. I just feel like they might have to play perfect 4 times. And I just don't know if I see that happening for the Knicks.
Yeah, the good thing about the Spurs, they do a good job in adjustments from game to game. And like now, what I think is going to happen, they're going to put Brunson on Champagnie, because Champagnie is not going to really do much off the dribble. A lot of his stuff is off of like catch and shoot. He will go off the dribble like the shot clock going down, but he might be on Champagnie. So and
you got to play him honest too, though.
You can't leave him
outside.
You can't leave him open, especially if he's hitting. Like he had 11 threes against the Knicks this year.
Yeah.
In one game. So
yeah, bro.
So, but you got Keldon Johnson on the bench. Then the defenders you're talking about, De'Aaron Fox, who could defend, Stephon Castle, who could defend. Champagnie been defending, bro. And that OKC series, I gotta dap him up, bro. He was defending.
Yeah.
Vassell too. Vassell was defending. Keldon Johnson, Dylan Harper is bro. He takes pride in his defense. I saw a clip where he was guarding Steph in the Steph camp. He was like, "I got Steph." He was like. He said if Steph scoring me something, Steph hit 1 3 and he lost a bet, whatever. But it's like off a screen though. It wasn't even like 1-on-1. But you know who also been playing good for them? Luke Cornett. Luke Cornett in game 7.
Yeah, big time block towards the end. Yep.
So Mitchell Robinson, we don't need Mitchell Robinson. We got Luke Cornett.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a good NBA Finals, man. I'm looking forward to it. You got, like you said, they got the David and Goliath. He's like Goliath, but in this story, Goliath's gonna win.
Yeah. You know? I got the Spurs. I got the Spurs in 6 games.
On 6?
I'm rooting for the Knicks, but I got the Spurs in 6.
I ain't really rooting for nobody. Remember I said Knicks in 6. Fox can get exposed. How will Fox get exposed? I don't know. We'll see. All right. But let's move on to the NFL. This is what you've been waiting for. AJ Brown finally is traded. Oh, here we go. My boy AJ been waiting for this to happen. The bombshell came through. He's been traded to the New England Patriots for a first-round pick in 2028 and a 5th-round pick. Because they got 2 5th-round picks, whichever one is better, they get to keep. And the Patriots get AJ Brown. So, AJ, this is your team. This is it used to be your boy. What was your reaction? How you feeling about this trade?
Oh man. I think that I wanted the trade to happen. I do think initially when the news came out, there was a lot of indifference though when it actually happened. It was because for the people who don't know, right? I was out of town this past weekend. I went to the Roots concert, got to see Jay-Z. It was cool. I came back early Monday morning, and I made myself some breakfast, and I slept from 11 to 4. I just needed some rest. So I woke up from my nap, rubbed my eyes. Oh, man. Checked my phone, saw the news. It was the first thing I saw when I opened up IG. Hey, AJ Brown's been traded to the Patriots. And like I said, my first thoughts were indifference, because AJ has meant so much to the fan base. He's meant, from my understanding, a lot to the community. He's meant a lot for the progression of my favorite player in Jalen Hurts. He has assisted in Jalen Hurts' progression as a quarterback. But then there's also the reasons why I wanted him traded. There's him giving up on routes, I felt like last year. There's the Twitter stuff that he go on Twitter and complain about different stuff. There's the press conference and interviews where he just giving people just bait and just feeding fires that didn't need to be fed on a consistent basis. There's the, will he be traded? Will he not be traded? Does he want to be here? Does he not want to be here? So there's that side of it. I think all in all, when you look at AJ Brown's career as a Philadelphia Eagle, I think 5 years from now, or even 10 years from now, us Eagles fans will truly appreciate the player that he was in Philadelphia, because this is the best 4-year stretch I have witnessed as being an Eagles fan. And it started when he got to Philadelphia. So I give him his flowers where it's due. But I say we got to wait 5 to 10 years, Joe, because there's too much going on right now. It's too much controversy going on. It's too many stories out here. And I'm not going to dig deep into the stories. I'm not going to actually dig at all on this platform. Y'all can go do your research. It's all out there. You go on Eagles Twitter, you find everything you need to see. Some main people are starting to talk about it as well. So y'all can do all that digging as you want. There's some confusion as to what's true and what's not true. I have people that I look to for information that has confirmed some things. Like I said, I won't get to that here. I might get to it on AJ's Birds. I might not, Joe. I might not. Because at the end of the day, I do want to show appreciation for what he did as a Philadelphia Eagle. 2-time All-Pro. Actually, no, 3-time All-Pro. Gave us 4,000-yard seasons, 2 of those seasons being over 1,400 yards. Broke Calvin Johnson's record for the most games with over, I believe, 130 yards in the game in a row. I think it was 6 games back to back. Helped us hoist the Lombardi Trophy for only the second time in Eagles history, right? And so, and 3 Pro Bowl selections as well. And so, and 2 Super Bowl appearances, like I said, in the Super Bowl victory. And so, I hate the way it ended. I do not like the way it ended. I flat out believe he quit on us last year. I also believe that the moment Saquon Barkley signed on the dotted line to come to Philadelphia was the beginning of the end of AJ Brown in Philadelphia. Because what people don't understand is, like I said, a lot of stuff going on off the field that maybe we'll get to one day, maybe we won't. But if we just talking football, let's just talk football. AJ Brown in 2022, that was probably his most successful year in a Philadelphia Eagles jersey. That offseason, he raved about how much he loved playing with with Jalen Hurts. He was in interviews saying how he paid a man. You need to get him paid as soon as possible. And if you're not going to pay them, he said in one of his interviews, trade me to wherever you're going to trade Jalen Hurts to, because that's where I want to be. That's how he was talking after the first year. The second year, obviously, the collapse happened. We saw him, the first interactions with him and Jalen on the sideline, miscommunication, arguing about not getting the ball, whatever the case may be, arguing about how the offense looked, whatever he arguing about, but on the sideline arguing. We saw that. But people forget, he still had a second 1,400-yard season and around 7 touchdowns that year. He still was extremely productive. It is the year he broke Calvin Johnson's record. It is the year we had a bunch of comeback victories in a row. He had an insanely productive year. So much so that he signed an extension that offseason. He signed an extension that offseason, shortly after Devontae Smith signed an extension the same offseason. So in the midst of the turmoil, in the midst of Jalen Hurts throwing 15 interceptions and I believe 5 fumbles, 20 total turnovers for the season that year, in the midst of us getting bounced one and done in the postseason, both guys still performed. Both guys felt comfortable enough to re-sign. Most notably, AJ Brown had another great year, and then Saquon Barkley came into the picture. In game 1, AJ Brown went crazy against the Green Bay Packers. Saquon Barkley made a few plays. I think he scored maybe 2 touchdowns in that football game, but AJ Brown was a major factor. Then he goes down with the hamstring injury. And after that, Saquon Barkley takes over and becomes the guy, rushes for 2,000. He's playing so productive. You have to consistently feed him the ball. And what does that do? That takes the ball out of Devontae Smith's hands. That takes the ball out of Dallas Goedert's hands. Most importantly, that takes the ball out of AJ Brown's hands. So you go from having 2 back-to-back 1,400-yard seasons to now you barely scratching 1,000. And that's a problem if you believe you're the best receiver in the league. We won the Super Bowl. Who cares? I didn't win Super Bowl MVP. I didn't have a career year. I barely was an All-Pro. People forget he still was an All-Pro. I didn't. What did I really accomplish that year? We won, but the focus wasn't on me. It was about Saquon. It was about him eating. It was about the defense. I made a couple plays, but we talk about Saquon before we talk about me. There's a clip going around Eagles Twitter right now of him on the sidelines telling Saquon Barkley two things. One, I think you're the best player in the league. But two, something that us Eagles fans glossed right over during the season. And I remember when it happened because I heard the mic'd up, but it was brought back to my attention this week. He fell out and told Saquon, bro, you so good, you taking the ball out of our hands. AJ Brown famously said, I get my joy when playing this game for when I dominate. When I look across the field at my opponent after I scored or after I made plays and that opponent got his head down, not feeling himself, knowing he can't F with me. This is what AJ Brown said. So the Super Bowl didn't matter. The All-Pro nods didn't matter. The Pro Bowls didn't matter because at the end of the day, he felt like he could do more, accomplish more, and he didn't think he could do that. And we just talking football because there's other stuff we could talk about, but we ain't gonna do that. He did not think he could do that in the Philadelphia Eagles offense with a quarterback who ain't focused on force feeding you the ball, but is focused on winning by any means necessary. If you get 100 yards, you get 100 yards. If you don't, you don't. But if we win, that's what I care about. He didn't feel like he'd be able to eat the same way he was eating before. And so it was time for him to make his way out and go to an organization where he's connected with the head coach, with the quarterback that everybody believes in, right? With the team where he's the main focal point of the offense, and a place where you still believe you have an opportunity to succeed. I'll wrap on this, Joe. At the end of the day, I think this is a win-win for all parties, especially if the stuff that we've been hearing the last couple of days are true. I think this is a win-win for both parties. Number one, like I already said for AJ Brown, you get to go to the New England Patriots. It's your childhood favorite team. You get to play with a quarterback that you believe in, that others believe is the second coming of Tom Brady. That's how they acting. Respect, right? You get to play in an organization that believes in you. You get an offensive coordinator that's very innovative and creative. I'm sure he's going to find ways to get you the football, right? And a head coach that clearly loves you. So you have that going for you. You have an opportunity to go out and do everything you wanted to do, including win, because they can win, including win. Cool. On the Philadelphia Eagles side of things, number one, Howie Roseman. What a hell of a job. You basically rented 4 years of AJ Brown's prime. That's basically what you did. And what did you truly give up? If I'm not mistaken, you traded AJ Brown. You traded for AJ Brown, and in the initial trade, you gave up a first and a third. You give 4 years of AJ Brown, all the accolades I just mentioned. You trade AJ Brown away, and you get back a first and a fifth round pick. So what you lose, a third round pick? What did you lose in this whole thing? You lost a third round pick for everything you accomplished with AJ Brown. In my opinion, that is a success. If you're Jalen Hurts, you now have an opportunity to prove what you could do without AJ Brown in the building. It's a lot of speculation on what he could do with and without AJ Brown. You have that opportunity. Devontae Smith, you now have an opportunity to showcase what you showcased in Alabama. I'm a number one guy. I can prove not only can I be a top 15 or top 10 guy, I could be an all-pro caliber receiver. I could be a JSN. I could be one of the best in the game. So you have an opportunity to prove that. Saquon Barkley, best believe you're going to get your touches and have an opportunity to redeem yourself from last year. The defensive side of the ball, you're going to have an opportunity to pull more weight if the offense struggles. The coaching staff, Sean Mannion, you got an opportunity to really stamp this thing because there's going to be other people who say offensively, right, roster-wise, the Rams got a better offense. The Patriots got a better offense. The Seahawks got a better offense. The Packers. It's going to be a lot of teams people put in front of us. But remember, I'm saying it, Joe. It's going to be a lot of teams people put before this offense, given what we saw last year and the fact that we don't have A.J. Brown. It's going to be a lot of people putting offenses over the Philadelphia Eagles. So, Sean Mannion, here's an opportunity with talent in the building to come in, make a name for yourself, and ultimately get a head coaching position, whether it's with us or elsewhere. And last but not least, Nick Sirianni. You're a part of the reason why he's out the door. From my understanding, they really wasn't seeing eye to eye towards down the stretch either. Could be true, could be not, but that's from my understanding. You got an opportunity again to showcase who you are. Another quote unquote down season for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's see how you all respond. All in all, I look at this as a win for everybody. I'm glad it's over with. I wish AJ Brown the absolute best, as long as it ain't against us. And I expect the Eagles to continue to ball, continue to win. And I expect Jalen Hurts to continue to elevate the way I know he can. You muted.
I'm gonna ask you a question, but I'm gonna talk about the Patriots side for a second. I do think it's a great move for the Patriots. The Patriots, they are doing what you're supposed to do with your young QB, kind of like what y'all did.
Mm-hmm.
Like a young QB with a great defense who dominated the whole playoffs, and the defense I'm talking about. Your young QB who dominated the whole regular season, and then gets to the playoffs and struggle. He struggled a lot, right? So what do? You go give him some wide receiver help. First, you got Kayshon Boutte, who was there last year, made some contested good catches, whatever. You lose Stephon Diggs, which is cool. You go sign Romeo Doubs, all right? And now you got AJ Brown through a trade, which is good. You still got Hunter Henry. You still got Trayvon Henderson. You still got Trayvon Henderson. You still got Stevenson. So you got weapons around Drake May that they can continue to take leaps, because the schedule is going to get tougher. It's not going to be the cupcake schedule they had last year. They're going to play a lot of good opponents. So, but this could neutralize it, because AJ Brown is. We just saw what we did to Jalen Hurts. Like, he's the receiver. I remember the perfect example of a safety net receiver of AJ Brown. The perfect game I can think about is when we played y'all when y'all had Kenny Pickett. I mean, he was just like, "Where AJ Brown at?"
Just throw it to him.
And AJ Brown was making plays. That was probably his, like, the whole year. That was probably his best game, his most fun game. He even talked about. He said, "Man, that was real fun." You know what I mean? He talked about, even though y'all lost, talked about how fun it was, because him and Marshall Lamb was going at it, and he was having a good game, all that stuff. He said, "That was fun." But how ironic, right? So I think that's a good thing. Now, I don't ask you a question, but I want to make a statement. There is pressure on AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts this year. All right. AJ Brown, obviously, he goes to the Patriots, who just went to the Super Bowl, by the way. It wasn't the Eagles, it was the Patriots, all right? So technically, we can say the Patriots are the better team, I guess, right? Based on what happened last year. So you go to the Super Bowl runner-up, you claim the quarterback is more talented, more better, can throw more, led the league in completion percentage last year, by the way, was one vote away from MVP. So you telling me you go from this guy, Jalen Hurts, who's trash, to the runner-up MVP, Super Bowl runner-up, and you play worse? What did that say about Hurts? All right? And you know AJ don't want that. He wants to look. Now it's a war. Now it's like, who was the reason? So AJ Brown want to show that I was the reason Hurts was looking all right. So he got to go and continue that. Now on the flip side, though, right? Jalen Hurts. You got a new. I know Kat talked about this. You got a new offensive coordinator who's going to be more. You're gonna have to use your arm a lot more. All right. You don't have AJ no more. You still got Smitty. You got some weapons over there. Still got Saquon in the backfield. But if Hurts, like somebody mentioned, if y'all would have missed the playoffs, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
If y'all would have missed the playoffs, Hurts is going to get crushed by the media. You thought he got crushed this offseason? He's going to get crushed like crazy. But on the flip side, if the Eagles maintain the ship and still be that dominant force in the NFC, what are we going to say about Hurts? Can we still kill Hurts? Can we still say Hurts is the – it's going to be the conversation now, because it was because of A.J. Brown, right? So this is going to be some fun. It's going to be fun to watch. You know what I mean? Like, just see, oh, snap. The Patriots playing? Let me tune in and see what A.J. Brown doing. Eagles playing too? I'm putting on a double screen. I'm going to sit there and watch. I'm going to watch every Hurts throw, every A.J. Brown catch. You know, it's going to be, it's going to be a week by week narrative. comparing these two. So I'm looking forward to it.
And it's funny, Joe, because I do think AJ Brown gonna be successful with the Patriots. I do. I think the situation is set up perfectly for him to succeed. I think he's gonna play very well within their system. Like I said, the fact that they got a great offensive coordinator in McDaniels is gonna help immensely. You know,
he let him cross route. So
I mean, you know what I mean? I feel like that's going to help him immensely, right? So you got that going for you. And then you got a solid quarterback. I don't know how I feel about Drake May yet. I'm not on the Drake May hype train. He had a sensational regular season, and he followed it up with probably the worst postseason run I ever seen. And you know how I am about the postseason. So it's like it's hard for me to put a beat to what he is just yet. I'm not completely sold on him just yet. But at the end of the day, I do think he's a talented quarterback. We saw that on display. You also got to keep in mind, though, that schedule going to be a lot more difficult this year. And you're going to have to deal with Lamar. You're going to have to deal with in a hungry Lamar who got a new head coach now, who out to prove some things yet again himself.
Who so you beat when he wasn't there. So he like, oh, I wasn't there last time. I don't remember he got hurt that game.
Yep. So you got to deal with Lamar. Josh Allen, you beat him out for the division. You know he's trying to come back for the throne. So you got to deal with Josh. Patrick Mahomes might be ready week 1.
I know, right?
He might be ready the way it's tracking. He might be ready for you week 1. So you got to deal with Mahomes, and you got to deal with those other teams that kind of been popping up, like Jacksonville and the Texans with their defense. And maybe the Chargers. And so like you're there, it's gonna be tough. Now, I think AJ is going to play extremely well, but as far as them having the same success as they.
Oh, what just happened? I had a question for AJ, and Kev, you in the comment section. Well, I think you already asked it. I'm going to ask AJ, what's the best case and worst case scenario for Jalen Hurts this year? I know you, because I saw your comment, Kev. There you go. He's back. Yeah, I saw your comment, Kev. There you go. All right. Ready you are, AJ.
Yeah, bro. I don't know what happened. I have no idea what happened. It just said error and threw me out the chat. I don't know what that was, but I'm back. I forgot even why I just left off.
AJ's people. I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
So this is what Kev said. If we miss the playoffs, those first round picks return to another QB. Howie is a businessman, or if Hurts ball out, we'll get another dog. So let me ask you this. What's the best case and worst case scenario for Hurts this year?
Let's start with the worst. The worst case scenario is he has a season similar to 2023 without all of the comeback victories. Because I think 2023 was a better year than what people make it out to be for him. He was clutch. He was clutch basically all year, but then down the stretch, it ran its course. So I think that if you see more of what we saw in 2023, where he turning the ball over nonstop, and he clearly don't like. You see a lot of miscommunication between him and the receivers, like he's struggling to grasp the offense and things like that. I think that's probably the worst case scenario for them. Them missing the playoffs is also within that. I think if he plays that bad, they miss the playoffs. Like I think that all is kind of lumped in one.
So let me ask you this though.
Yeah.
Do you think there's an opportunity? Do you think it's in the air that if he does not play the part, that y'all move on from him?
I don't know about that. I know it's been a lot of. I
don't either.
Yeah, I know it's been a lot of like speculation about his relationship with ownership, Howie, with Lord. I just don't know. I think he'd have to play really bad, bro.
I think it has to be multiple years.
Yeah, I think he'd have to play horribly, and I think they'd have to be. I think Howie and them would have to see a guy coming out of the draft that they love.
Arch Manning.
Like it would have to be somebody that got to go up in the first round and get. I don't see them moving on, because we know they kind of was a little disgruntled with Wentz down the stretch, but Wentz gave you multiple, like he gave time. He was bad for a hot little minute. It was like, all right, bro. I was the biggest Wentz defender. Then I was like, bro, I quit. This is crazy. Like this is just, I'm tired of this. And then he was always hurt. He was always injured.
Yeah, he was always hurt.
So I think
The team was too.
I think that one thing you got to give Hurts credit for is at the end of the day, if Hurts continues to be himself and he displays tons of leadership this year, I think that will carry him, because the AJ Brown is a big voice in the locker room. So best case scenario for Jalen Hurts is we get back to the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. Best case scenario, and again, people can call me a delusional Eagles fan. I think that's still on the board for the Philadelphia Eagles. When you think about all the moves we made this offseason, when you think about the fact that we got Jonathan Gennard, you think about the fact that we went and drafted Mekhi Lemon, who was supposed to be, if not the best, the second best receiver in the draft. When you think about what Devontae Smith can do, you still got 2-6. You still got Dallas Goedert. Like, you still have a dominant defense with a dominant defensive coordinator. You have an offense that you don't know how to game plan for because we ain't seen it just yet. So you got a young Sean Mannion who could come in and flip some things. You still got talent all over the place. So I think that worst case scenario, 2023 without the comebacks and they missed the playoffs. Best case scenario, you see him play well and get back to the NFC Championship and or Super Bowl. That's what I think. And I think I'm predicting more of the latter. I'm predicting that they play extremely well this season. I think AJ Brown is a big piece, but I think that Hurts will have the ability to play free. That's the biggest thing I want from him. Never seen this man smile so much this offseason in the offseason. I just think he is free. You ain't got to worry about force feeding nobody. Go out there and hit the open man. 9 times out of 10, the open man gonna be Devontae. Because what I'm hearing about Devontae right now, he a man on a mission. Devontae a man on a mission right now. He look hungry and determined. And he calling around, asking questions. Like Devontae seems like he ready to take that mantle. But, hit the open man, make plays, get the ball to your playmakers, run the ball effectively. We get the run game going. I think the Eagles will be just fine.
I think Smitty gonna go out this year.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. I think it's gonna be the rare win-win. I think AJ is gonna be great. I think Hurts and the Eagles are gonna be great, and I think we're gonna look back on this and be like, I think it worked out for both sides. I'd be shocked if AJ goes to New England and doesn't play well, or we don't play well without AJ. I would honestly be shocked if we didn't get Mekhi Lemon. If I didn't have faith in Devontae, I'd be singing a different tune. If it was the receiver core that we had before AJ and we still had Jalen Reagor and all of them, I'd be singing a different tune. But with Devontae, Mekhi, Goddard, Saquon, I think, and then you still got, guys like Hollywood, guys like
talent.
Knicks. They got talent. They got guys, and they got
still got 2-6 in the background too, man.
Exactly. So it's like it's there. It's still there. We can't go from saying the Eagles were a super team to all of a sudden they ain't got no talent because AJ Brown gone. Like
they still got talent.
They still got a lot of talent over there, and they still got a dominant defense that I believe improved this offseason with Reek Woolen and blanking on his name. I just said it earlier. Defensive end we got from the Vikings. Gennard. So yeah, I like our chances, but I'm happy to wrap this up because I know I've been rapping on this topic for a while. I'm happy that this is done. Now, with all the stuff that's coming out now about it, it is what it is. I'm happy that this chapter is closed. I appreciate his time in Philly. I wish him nothing but the best out there in New England. I hope he ball out. If the Eagles and the Patriots met in the Super Bowl, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. But I wish him the best, and I expect him to ball. Go be happy. You got your ring. Go get you some more All-Pros. Go showcase you the best in the league like you want to do. And just don't be shocked when Smitty on your heels. That's what I'm saying. Because Smitty gonna be right there. You know what I'm saying? He about to get his accolades too. He about to get them Pro Bowls. Like, boy, Smitty finna go crazy.
That's gonna be a tracker. And Jordan Mailata, he once the trade happened, he said, "Thank God it's over."
Yeah. I think it's a weight off of everyone, including AJ Brown. I think it's a weight off everyone's shoulders. I think that now.
Y'all got the Eagles and y'all got the
joint practice. Yep, we sure do. Oh snap, my bad. I didn't mean to put that up. But yep, we sure do. So,
more drama.
Hey, Quinyon, get ready.
That's more drama. It might get us a couple of
scuffles up there.
Yeah, scuffles.
Yeah. Yeah, I can
Okay,
see it.
okay. I gotta look into that. Okay. I know we
Mhm.
went against them last year in joint practice.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
pulled up that one. That joint was fun.
I feel that. I feel that. But speaking of trades, Joe, we could argue that the AJ Brown trade was the biggest trade. We could make that argument. But this Myles Garrett trade is right there with it, if not bigger. The Browns trade Myles Garrett to the Rams. I don't have the details of the trade up right now. I know that the Browns got Jared Verse back in return.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, what are your thoughts on Myles Garrett being an LA Ram now in the NFC?
Yeah, I think this is a bigger trade. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the drama is making the Eagles one that really big, you know. But it's AJ Brown too. So the Cleveland Browns traded they traded Myles Garrett. So the Browns they so the Rams get Myles Garrett and the Browns get Jared Verse, who's a first round pick. They get a 2027 first round pick, a 2028 second round pick, and a 2029 third round pick.
Mm.
So I thought it was a good trade for the Browns for real. Like I look at it like the Browns, you're not winning with Myles Garrett. Like you got this big contract, which you signed him for, and then which is smart, and you trade him. You know what I mean? And you get a player back, which is who can. Well, he be like Myles Garrett, no, but he's still developing. He's a young linebacker. The man just came in the league 2 years ago. You know, so he was defensive rookie of the year and all that. So Jared Verse can still grow within the young talent they already have. They have young talent already on the defensive side of the ball. And then you got all these picks who the Browns, to be honest with you, they draft well outside of the whole Shador shenanigans. But outside of that, they draft well. So I like that. Now for the Rams, I mean, Super Bowl or bust. Matthew Stafford out the door in a year or two. And on here, Aaron Donald might come back, and he's actually like teasing that stuff. And I think he's in shape to come back and still play football.
He definitely in shape.
The man still works.
Definitely in shape.
So he's talking about coming back. Now listen to this. Kobe Turner from the Rams, he had 9 sacks last year. Byron Young had 12. Myles Garrett had 23. Do you know since 2021? The top 4 pass rushers since 2021, Michael Parsons at 65, Trey Hendrickson 74, TJ 80, Myles Garrett 95. He got 15 more than TJ Watt. And Myles Garrett, also TJ Watt, wasn't even healthy the whole 4 years. He got hurt at times too. It was last year he had 5 sacks in one game and they took him out of the game. And he got mad. The game wasn't even over, they took him out. Because the game was over technically with the score. So I mean, they just going on there. I mean, if I'm a Rams fan, I'm excited. I'm jumping around, but and lastly, because of the lack of, and then it's on top of them getting McDuffie and Watson. So they got 2 corners from the Chiefs, and they went and got Myles Garrett. No, the defense is gonna be much better.
Joe, I sent you a graphic to your phone. If you can put it in the present, don't put it up, but don't put it up till I ask you.
I got you.
Don't put it up till I ask you to put it up. I want to say this about the trick. Somebody said something in the comment section that I want to get to, and that's why I got that graphic. But anyway, the Rams should be the Super Bowl favorite. If Stafford plays the way Stafford played last year, which I don't believe, I have any reason to believe he won't play that well. Devontae Adams continues to be the red zone target that he is. Puka Nacua continues to ball out the way he balled out last season and years prior. The run game continues to flourish. And now the defense comes up and grabs and now has the best defender in all of football in Myles Garrett. And you could argue probably a top 5 corner, right, from the Kansas City Chiefs. I just don't see how they can't be the favorite. They lost last year because of their defense. They lost because of their defense. They had a chance to be the number 1 seed. Their defense sold them. They had a chance to get to the Super Bowl. Their defense sold them. Like, that was what it was. They couldn't get pressure. They couldn't get stops. They couldn't stop the pass. They literally could not do anything. And so I respect the move. One thing about the Rams, they have a formula for winning, right? We don't care about these picks, right? We don't care about the picks. We looking to get surefire talent. We'll trade you whatever you want for Matt Stafford. We'll trade you whatever you want for Myles Garrett. They would have traded whatever we wanted for AJ had they not, had the little thing, looked up his medical history. They didn't like what they saw with AJ's knee, but they was like, we'll trade you whatever you want for AJ too. We don't care. Like, whatever it takes, we just want to get as much talent on this roster as possible. We've shown we could win that way. They trying to continue to win that way. So I just think that this move, when I saw this, I was just like, well, McDuffie, Garrett on the same defense, and you got a high-powered offense like this. I don't know how they are not the favorites right now. I mean, you may be able to bring up somebody else from the AFC. I would love to throw my Eagles in the hat as the favorite, but of course I got to see how they look without AJ and without, with the moves that we made on the defensive side of the ball. But that move alone right there, it should be nobody else that you should be saying should be the favorite. Well, I picked them in the Super Bowl. No. But I think they should be the favorite to come out of the NFC and win the Super Bowl. Now, I want to respond to a comment that my boy Kev put up here, because my boy Kev sometimes he act like he don't know the history. Joe, can you put that graphic up on the screen for me, if you will be so kind? I want to get this up here because we talk as if this not a thing. I just want to show this to the masses. I showed this on AJ's Birds, right? And I'm showing it again here to the masses again. They gotta show me, Kev, they can beat us before I say they're gonna beat us. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. This is 4 separate games. These are games with Cooper Kupp. These are games with Puka Nacua, these Devontae Adams, and all these Aaron Donald and all these playmakers you got on both sides of the ball. Nevertheless, when it came to line up on the opposite side of Uno, you lost. And not only did you lose, you got outplayed. The completion percentage, the passing, the total yards per game, all of those numbers. I mean, we see it there. Thank you, Joe, for making it even bigger to make sure people can see. I mean, he getting you in every statistical category. Now, again, we'll see what it looks like without A.J. Brown in the focus. A.J. Brown played a huge factor in all of these games, if I remember, especially the one this past year. A.J. Brown was a massive factor in these games, so I don't want to gloss over that. Obviously, we got to see how we look without A.J. But we own the Rams till further notice. That's how I see it. Now, should they be the favorite? Absolutely, they should be the favorite. They should be the favorite. But until they show us that they can handle us, then I'm not finna just all of a sudden, you sure that's a win? Yes, I'm sure we're gonna beat the Rams when it's time to beat the Rams. They show me something different. Yes, put your money on Uno and the Eagles. Yes, I got Philadelphia. The same way Seahawks could be one of the worst teams in the league, but as soon as we see Seattle, it's a whole nother story. Sometimes it just be like that. So yeah, but I just had to put that up because I know how to talk is, Joe. I know how they be talking, man. You know what I mean? And Kev, he's supposed to be with me. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to be with us.
He said he agree with you, but he did say all good things must come to an end.
Nah, I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to. No. It ain't coming to an end. Not this year. Not this year. Nah, we coming into the season with something to prove. You know what I mean? We coming into this season still with something to prove. My dog been getting slandered all off season. You know he coming into the season hungry. So they got to show me. But what I will say is the Rams look damn good. Myles Garrett is Myles Garrett. Trent McDuffie is Trent McDuffie. So hey, we will see. Has the artist crashed out? Nah, I ain't crashed out, man. Unless something happened I don't know about while we record. But no, I feel I'm well. I'm well.
Until I check Twitter.
Oh man.
I don't think that happened.
Okay, I'm about to say, oh man, don't tell me.
Yeah, but that was good, man. Great episode. I was curious to hear what you guys say about AJ Brown, but we here, sir. At the end of the road. And shout out to everybody from the R2L Network. Shout out to everybody from the R2L community. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Timeout for Timeout. Shout out to everybody in the comment section. We appreciate y'all that stayed from, especially y'all that stayed from start to finish. Appreciate Kev for being the most active commenter in the chat today. We appreciate you. Figure you'll be here though, you know. Shout out to Chris, he was there earlier too, you know. Somebody else was here too. I gotta think about it. But anyways,
Carl,
but
you didn't mention him.
Yeah, Carl just pulled up. Shout out to you, Carl. Appreciate you, man. But Commanders, man, they making all jokes about my boy Skinny. I'm like, y'all, don't listen to those pictures. He ain't that skinny. All right. I'm looking forward to this offense that we got with David Blau. Terry McLaurin got his conscience clear. He not going through no. He said last year the contract stuff. Yeah, he admitted like it kind of threw everything's off. Plus he got married too. He went traveling. He said he fully focused on football. He's locked in. Listen, man, the Brandon Ayuk news. Bro, look, I saw a Brandon Ayuk post, and it said breaking news. I'm like, oh, bet y'all know. I clicked on it. Brandon Ayuk is only following Jaden Daniels and the Commanders on Instagram.
Come on, man. What we doing?
Yeah, I know we're going to get on. It's a matter of when. They can release him now, and it won't hurt them.
Yeah.
But knowing them, they're going to wait until August.
Mm-hmm.
So, but because if he's on a roster, he takes a $14 million cap hit.
Ooh.
But if he's not on the roster, it's only $6 million.
Okay.
So, and we can just sign him on a minimum deal. You know what I mean? And,
that'd be a plug. That'd be a plug.
But he gonna be with us though soon. Yeah, why would you want him though? Everybody keeps saying that. Everybody keeps saying you should want him.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, we talked about it off air, man. I don't know. I don't know about it, Joe. I just don't know.
I trust Jaden Daniels. I just trust him. Maybe he'll turn into AJ Brown down the road, you know what I mean? But can we at least get to the Super Bowl?
get a rental for a couple of years? Like, man, let him spaz later. I feel it.
I think we're gonna get Stephon Diggs too. That's gonna be a funny thing.
I'd rather have Diggs right now.
I think we're gonna get both. I think we'll get both. Crazy. Yeah, I think we're gonna get both. Stephon Diggs, Terry McLaurin, and him. So
that'd be crazy.
But that's the Commanders. Kings, listen, man, we got two big dogs that we had 2 years ago that's in the finals. I don't want to talk too much about that. And baseball, lastly, the Nationals. We on a 2-game losing streak right now. But I check the power rankings, AJ, everywhere I look. We top 10.
Oh.
We top 10. Teddy had us being last place in our division. We are second place right now. And we are top 10. We are like 8. You know, we got the number 1 offense in baseball. We also give up the most runs, too. We got the worst defense. But we legit got the best offense and the worst defense. It's crazy.
Sheesh.
So, yeah, but yeah, so shout out to the Nationals right now. And, yeah, so I got shout out to my boy AJ. Another great episode.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. My last words are appreciate everybody for tuning in to this week's episode. Everybody watching on my channel, Time Out, the Full Time Out, the R2L channel. Everybody watching from Twitter, IG, Facebook, wherever you may be watching, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you may be watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, retweet, share. Tell a friend, man, to tune in to Unfazed because we dropping that fresh content every single week. Eagles, hey, you pulled the plug. It was time to pull a plug, but let's get to it. This is not a moment to be. You know, I seen a reporter on SportsCenter today saying, "Oh, the city is mourning and all this other stuff." The city ain't mourning. The city. I was just out there. Everybody looked fine to me. Everybody looked cool to me. I'm just saying, everybody looked like they was happy to be at the Roots picnic. Everybody, you know, feeling good. It wasn't no talk about AJ then, and I know it was on people's minds. So people seem cool to me. That's what I got to say. That. But at the end of the day, this ain't the time for all that. It's onwards, it's upwards. Everybody coming into the season with something to prove. Let's come out. Let's prove that. We got all the offseason. Mekhi Lemon already got a little hamstring injury. So rest that up. Yeah, I mean, nothing. It ain't, from what I'm hearing, it ain't nothing crazy. But rest it up though, because we don't need that. We definitely don't need that. So rest that up. You know, get that going to where you need to get it going. Jalen work on your chemistry with everybody else. You know what I mean? And Mekhi, you know, when we need him, I feel like he's going to be there. I got high hopes for him. I really do. So I think we good there. You know what I mean? Lakers, I'm seeing reports that they're going to prioritize re-signing Austin Reeves over prioritizing LeBron.
No, yeah, I saw that.
Don't like that. And it really ain't got nothing to do with LeBron. It's more so about Austin Reeves. The man has not shown me he deserves a crazy payday because of how bad he is defensively. You cannot have a backcourt with Luka and Austin Reeves and expect to win a championship.
If
you have that backcourt, the rest of the team better be immaculate defenders. And I mean immaculate. You better have somebody down there like an AD, healthy, blocking shots when they blow past Luka and AR, right? You better have OG Anunoby type guys. You better have some other guys that could really get scrappy and defend. Better make sure Marcus Smart is back. Like you better make sure the defense is there because the offense might be cool, but defensively, it ain't where it's at. So I hope that they rethink that. Also, seeing something like they considering bringing in Kyrie. So now you got 3 guys that really can't defend. I'm not saying Kyrie's a bad defender, but I don't really like that either. Like, if you're going to re-sign Austin Reeves, don't go get Kyrie too. I don't know what they doing, Joe. I'm going to have to just trust it. You know what I mean? Like, just roll with the punches. Thank God that's over with. I'm getting ready to get with my organization that actually think on their toes and actually do smart things that I agree with as a fan. Shout out to Howie Roseman. Don't know what I would do without you. You know what I mean? Don't know what I would do without you. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, Joe, man, I'm feeling good. It was a great episode, man. And the Eagles traded AJ Brown. I'm feeling unfazed.
Unfazed. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.